Okay, class, today we're going to work on a bobblehead project, and that bobblehead project is something is similar to what you see here. So let's go ahead and start. We're first going to open up the file, and hopefully you have one with the green screen in the classroom, so you should have had that in the background. It's easy to take the background, so we'll go ahead and import that. If it comes in here, let's go ahead, and it may default to a tool like mine is the crop tool, so I'll go ahead and take that off. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to select the head. We've got to remove the head from your picture. All right, before we even take out the background, let's go ahead and take out the head. I'm going to use the magnetic lasso tool to do this. Now, I want you to remember as you're using the magnetic lasso tool, I want you to go ahead and make sure when you go around it, if you make a mistake, all you have to do is hit the delete button and it'll go back one step. Instead of starting all over again, you can go back, and there's an example right here where I'm actually want to get the bottom of my chin, and it doesn't really kind of snap to where it needs to go. So I'm going to hit the delete key, and it'll go back, and I'm going to keep trying until I get it right, or at least get it to a place where I like it. And so I'll click delete, and it'll go ahead and it'll go back a space as I am going around the head. Okay, this is a really neat tool for you to use, specifically when you're trying to remove the head from your project. Just go ahead and go around, and of course, going around the ears, the hair may be some problems, but I will go around now. Another trick that you do with the magnetic lasso tool is if you get real close where it's not really working, it's not sticking, just keep clicking your mouse, and then every time you'll put little dots on there. You'll put little contact points. That's what those little dots are. And so we'll see right here where I'm having trouble with my hair. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to click multiple times because the lasso tool does not stick to my hair because of all of the different information. So I'll just go ahead and I'm hitting delete key, going back, and making sure that if it doesn't work, I'll go hit the delete key and it deletes the one previously. So now I'm just clicking and clicking around. So I'm not really relying on the magnetic tool, the lasso part. So I'm clicking a lot with the mouse, and I'm going around the hair area. This is going to allow me to kind of get real into that detail in the hair work. And so I'm going to go ahead and go through there. And then once I'm done, I'm going to make the final connection. But again, even if you do this, you can always hit the delete key and go back. Once you do it, you're going to go ahead and click the first little control contact point, and it'll hit the selection. And what you're going to do here is real important. Go up to layer, go to new, and go to layer via cut. Okay, that's going to say a new layer. It's going to make a new layer. Look over here on the layers panel. It's going to make a new layer from the head. So if you take the little eyeball out, you will no longer be a part. So now they're two separate layers. Whatever you do to the head, it's not going to do to the body. So now you can kind of edit them separately. So now you've separated the head from the body. That's important in this bobblehead tool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and right now hit save as, save your work, make sure it's in your new drive, and we're going to name it the bobblehead project. Okay, then go ahead, now that you've already separated, so we can save that. Okay, if there's something in there, just replace it. I've been working on it, so that's what you're going to do. So as you're working, let's continue. Let's go ahead and there's the background. And what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and we can make the head bigger. That's the first thing people think of when they do the bobblehead tool. But if depending on the resolution of your picture, it may be too small and you'll start pixelating. So the best thing to do actually is hit edit, and then you're going to hit free transform. Okay. So basically, if you can't see that it's highlighted, you're gonna have to come back over here to background. You see how the little lock? I forgot to take off the lock. So let's go back. Oh, free transform, we can use it now. And I'm going to head and shrink that. I'm going to shrink the body. Instead of making the head bigger, I'm going to shrink the body. That's a trick that we're going to do to make the bobblehead tool. And you can start seeing it's already starting to take effect. Okay? And again, that's one of the things that we really want to do to get that bobblehead effect. But if you notice, I've lost some background where my head's at and my hair is at. Don't worry about that because we're going to take out the background in a few minutes so that we can create a new background so that the entire bobblehead effect can work. Okay, so in a moment we're going to go ahead and take out our background. So initially what I'm going to want to do here is go ahead and go with the magic eraser tool. Now it's going to, everything I click on, it's going to be erased. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my layer is selected for the background. But I just don't want to mess with the head. So I'm going to take the head out. I'm going to poke the little eye out. And I'm going to start clicking with the magic eraser tool around the back area to erase the background. Okay, maybe a little too powerful. So I'm going to go up here where it says tolerance and I'm going to mess with it. So I'm going to go ahead and clicking around the background and see how it took out some of my coat. It's too powerful. So I'll come back here where it says tolerance, bring it down to about 20, and you're going to have to play with it. See how it's just taking a lot away from the sides. So it's also a little rough. So instead of going back with the tolerance, what I'm going to end up do, well, I'm going to try this one more time, go down to 10, see if I can get a little bit more of that other side. Yeah, I can do that. And but it's still a little jagged, and there's still little pieces that I missed right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the regular eraser tool, or right click, and I'll make the size a little bigger. So the regular eraser, I'm just going to go around and I'm going to go around the edges and just make the edges really smooth. Okay, that's what I'm using, the regular eraser, not the magic eraser, the regular eraser tool to go around and click and erase all of, make my coat smooth and get the rest of the stuff on the background removed. So there we go. We have the background gone, so now I can move my image down and I can go ahead and bring back my face, the bobblehead face. So I'll click that back on, and then I'll just go ahead and go to my move tool, and then I'll move that back into place. And so now there is no background. Don't worry, we'll make a background at the end. And so then now we'll go ahead, and our next step is to actually start messing with the actual head portion of the assignment. So again, just align it right. I'm messing with it right now, just trying to get it into the right spot, kind of looking to see if I can do some things with it. So I see there's some issues around my neck that I'm going to go ahead and get the eraser tool and clean that up. Okay, and sometimes maybe I'll take a little more, make myself look a little thinner. Ugh. So again, I can Photoshop myself. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then after I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm put my head back on my shoulders and try to get into a spot that kind of looks okay. I mean, you're going to have to play with this. It's going to be up to your artistic ability to kind of get this in the right spot. Then I'm going to go ahead, select my head, make sure that it's selected. I'm going to, instead of layer 1, I'm going to call that head. And layer 0, I'm going to go ahead and call that body. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and use this tool called Liquify. But before I do that, I'm going to come down here and it says Liquify, but I'm not going to click it yet because I got to click my head layer, because right now my body's highlighted. I want my head. So when you go up here, go to filter, and you're going to go to Liquify, and what that's going to do is going to bring up a whole different set of parameters. Now this is content aware, meaning that it scanned my face and it knows where my eyes are. So let's make my eyes bigger. Now look at my left eye. As I move it, it makes it bigger. My right eye, it makes it bigger. So you can really play with all of these things. They're self-explanatory. You know, eye height. You know, I kind of moves my glasses out of the way. If you start seeing, this is where people can kind of, if they don't use it correctly, it can really make somebody look really weird. Which in this particular case, we do want it to look weird, okay, weird and funny, because this is more of a comedy type of activity. It's not really designed for realism, and so anybody who's looking at this will clearly understand that this is just a joke as far as our Photoshop work. But this is actually a really powerful tool. Most people like to use this to enhance and touch up some face. If you do it lightly, if you use it lightly, you can really do some dramatic things with it. Right now I'm messing with my eyes. If you can see, I made them wider and then I fixed it. Here's my nose height. You know, I'm making it longer, make my nose shorter. You can play with it. And then of course there's also the nose parameter where you can make the nose wider. Again, if you focus on everything big, you're just going to blow everything out. But if you mess with some things being bigger and smaller, it makes it more of a funny project. So then you're going to mess with the smile. It's kind of crazy that you can actually make somebody smile more. It's a crazy parameter. Mess with the upper lip, the lower lip. You really can go to town with these tools. And then you can kind of start working with the forehead, make your forehead super long and super short. There you go. I'm trying to mess with it, making it a long forehead. Chin height, you can make it, have yourself a big long chin or a big short chin, or a really short chin. And then face width, you can make your face a little more rounder or a lot more rounder. It's up to you how you want to play with this. And of course, I went and go back, and then it's gonna look weird. All right, it's supposed to. It's a bobblehead. All right. So again, this is just for fun. I want to have some fun with Photoshop, and I want you to have some fun with Photoshop. So then we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go to free transform, and I'm gonna tilt my head. That's just so I can make it a little more playful. Okay, just get the free transform and make it playful, and then just set it in the right spot. But one last step that I really want to do is, of course, give myself a background. And so I'll come back over here, go to the rectangle tool, okay, the rectangle tool, and I'm going to go and just draw a square. And as soon as I draw it, you're going to see that it's on top of everything. Everything's black. All right, so let's pick a good color. I'm going to go look for a grayish color. That's what the original one, but that's me. That's all right, but it's a little too light. I'm going to go with something a little darker. Perhaps that's a more of a brown. Maybe let's go ahead with, yeah, there we go. I think I like that one. But for you to see everything, I got to drag it to the bottom. Remember, it's hiding all the layers. So I'm just going to grab it and drag it down. And there is my bobblehead. See, now it really stands out with a darker background. And that's what you're going to do. And just the last step after you finish this and you play around it and you get it where you want it, you're going to come up and then you're going to go ahead and you're going to export it. Now, you've got to export it a different way. And I'm making a last little tweak because I want to make sure that the head is in the right spot. But you're going to do one more last step before you actually turn it in, because you're not going to turn in this PSD project. Okay, what you're going to do is make sure you save it. Okay, make sure you save this file. And then what you're going to do is you're going to save it first, make sure you got everything ready, and then you're going to export it. And you're going to export, quick export as PNG. And then you're going to save it as a bobblehead project, but you're going to put your name on it first in front of the bobblehead. So that way I put my name Juarez, and then you're going to go ahead and save it at PNG. That PNG is what you turn into Google Classroom. It's just going to be the picture. It's not going to be the whole project, and I can see it. All right, and then you're done. All right, guys. Hope you have fun.